Hey. This video is all about making turns. So here is the wide turn, and the other pink sheet will be the sharp turn. So the process is exactly the same for both. And both papers have 4 turns on them. So what you're gonna do to see those turns is gonna cut off this long black line there, and this one here as well, and that one as well. So you're gonna cut all the way down this way, all the way down, this way, and this way. I'm gonna pause the video, and you should pause it too to make those cuts. All right, and there you have it. Each of these is 1 turn, and they're all exactly the same. So I'm gonna put 3 to the side. And the next step is to take your ruler and draw your lines just like with the beams and columns. There's 1, and there's 2. The next step, before you move on to the next part, you need to make sure that you're folding this in half, folding these pieces on the lines. So please fold those backwards. All right, next, you can unfold it, and these gray parts need to be cut out. So you're gonna cut just right along the black lines, up to the top there, and there. And you might need to pull it off at the end. So go ahead and pause the video and do that for all of the rest. After you've done your cutting, this is what you should have. And you wanna make sure that these 2 side pieces are actually vertical. So to make sure that happens, you're gonna refold along here. It's kind of tricky. So refold there so that that part will stay vertical, up and down like that. And then you wanna fold each of these pieces so that they end up staying straight up and down as well. That's gonna help you in the next step. So I'm just gonna keep on, I'm not gonna pause this time. Great, so now you have a two vertical walls. The marble will roll right through the middle here, except there's all these little holes there. So what you're gonna do is push these together and tape. Now you're gonna tape on the outside. All right, so what I always do is I hold it upside down, and I push these 2 together with my thumb and hold it with my finger in the back. And then I can put a little piece of tape here and a little piece of tape here. It doesn't matter what you want to do here, but you have the choice. You can decide to tape just this part here, and then this part, and this part, skipping the vertical walls, and do that at the end. It doesn't matter to you. So I'll pause, do a couple, and show you what I'm doing in just a second. All right, I'm about halfway through my wide curve here, and I definitely suggest that you should tape just the bottom parts and leave these as flaps for now, and tape them later at the end. So here's exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking these 2 pieces, and I am holding the walls vertically and pinching them together. They've got to touch. They can't cross over. That's bad. Those 2 black lines should be touching, just like that. And there should not be a gap between the corner there. Right? There's no gaps in my pieces. So they should be just touching like that. And you put a little piece of tape right there. Oh, I got a gap. There we go. Cool. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Now I'll pretend I finished the end. Now I'm going to go through and do the walls. All right. So for the walls, take a piece of tape, and it's the same thing. You cannot have them crossing over. That's going to make your turn go up and down, and it'll be wonky. Make sure they're just touching like that. And you put it's honestly, this is like miserable. It's tricky. So piece of tape like that. And the next one, piece of tape like that. I'm going to pause and do the rest so you can see the finished product. All right, and this is the final product. So it's a half turn because it's wide. I made some mistakes here. If you look in this part right there, I left a pretty big gap. So if you do that once, it's fine. But if you do it 4 or 5 times, it's going to get a little messy. But what's important is that I didn't cross it over so the flaps were crossing over. That would be bad. In the middle of the turn, I kind of left some gaps there as well. So these are pretty small, but if yours are big, it's going to be a problem. So just make sure that yours ends up flat at the end. Otherwise, you might need to redo it. All right. Good luck.